All right. And welcome to an awesome Tuesday, September or something. And this is MG Books and Broads, Volume 4. That's right, we're up to 4 already. And we are going to
Holy
be,
shit.
I know, right? It's hard to believe. They're fairly popular. They've got some good views on them and some good
Nice.
airtime. Yeah. So, the book we're going to be sort of dissecting and talking about and laughing and enjoying is Drink, Play, Fuck by Andrew Gottlieb. This book was written in 2009. There you go. 2009, and was given to me by a girl I was dating at the time. She's like, "Oh, I think you're really going to enjoy this book." Like, what is it? She's like, "Well, it's really the literary retort to Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert that came out sometime in the mid 2000s, which was also made into a movie." All right, I'm not going to enjoy that. She's like, "No, no, it's from the man's point of view, as if it was the husband saying fuck his ex-wife, in this case, Gilbert. He's not coming out and saying it, but that's implied. And then quitting his job, his high-paying job, and then taking whatever savings he had left and just traveling the world, drinking, playing, and fucking. Now, as you can see, drinking is bottle caps, playing is poker tokens, and fuck is in condoms as far as the little things on here. So, drink, he goes to Ireland. Playing, he goes to Vegas, and fucking, he goes to Thailand. So he's kind of bouncing around all over the world. And it's written very well. It flows, and it's funny as fuck. It's really worthwhile. Aside from the ending disappointed me, but I was not
Yes, the
right.
fucking ending.
The ending's a piece of shit.
Yeah, the
But
ending. The ending. It's like I'm waiting for the climax. I'm waiting for the money shot, and no. Instead, we get
no,
flaccid penis.
yeah, we get him going back into probably the same mess he got into in the beginning
Exactly.
with his wife.
Yeah. That was the only critique I have. That it's like, the rest of it was good because you actually answered my unspoken first question which was, did this book come out before, at the same time, or after Eat, Pray, Love? Well, you already
After,
answered that
yep,
one.
2002. This was the first printing, 2009. Yep.
So he literally was pulling jewels and saying, well, allow me to retort.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. He's like, you know what? Fuck this bitch. I'm doing my version.
Which is good because the at least the drinking and the playing part, and at least the beginning of the fucking part, I was like,
Yeah.
here this motherfucker decides, yeah, I'm gonna take my money and I'm gonna go to Ireland and I'm gonna drink and I'm gonna get shit faced like a
Yep.
month or more. I'm just
Yeah,
gonna
I
sit
think it.
around and just get fucked.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
got that. He got that apartment, and then one of his buddies is like, What are you doing?" And he was sort of calling him out on some of the bullshit he was doing with women. Or that one girl that he got drunk with, Ariane or something, Adriana, the Italian chick in the very
Oh
beginning.
yeah.
He was totally fucking up. He was just being the shoulder to cry on. They're both drunk and they're about to kiss, and he winds up breaking her fucking nose. Fucking
Well,
dumbass.
that's what happens when you're drinking in Ireland.
Well, I
I'm
think
just
he
surprised they didn't fornicate afterwards.
right. Well, he starts to get this zero fucks given and realizing like, wait a minute, maybe I am kind of a chump because he feels bad for her, doesn't know her, and takes her to the clinic, and he's
Uh-huh.
sitting there, and I guess his friend goes with him. He's like, man, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah, why are you here? Why are you taking her to the clinic? And after a minute, he's like, yeah, why am I here? I don't need to be
Well,
here.
one of the questions that his friend asked is like, "Are you fucking this chick?" He's like,
Exactly.
"No." Like, wait a minute, you've got a great point. So I like the evolution of him coming to the realization of like essentially the nature of women that he's been lied to throughout his life, because it's really set up. And Rob and I know because we come from similar backgrounds and that like we did things a certain way when we were younger because we felt that was like, we're already here. It's kind of expected of us. We'll try to make it work, and that's what normal people do. and it doesn't work that way. And it's like the evolution of this book is just like one eye-opening experience after another.
I would even almost posit it from a non-red pill way to say it's kind of a proto red pill for some guys, because it is the guy that gets zeroed out and decides, I don't know, to wash away his sorrows with drinking and then going to Vegas and playing. And then he goes, to Thailand, which we'll come back to Thailand, because I'm thinking, oh boy, I
Right.
couldn't wait to get through this book just to get to the fucking.
I know, right?
Yeah. The drinking was cool because the way he described it, the way he wrote about Ireland, and granted, total transparency, I've never been to Ireland, but I know enough people who have, that the way they described going to the pubs and doing the taverns and all that shit. This
And
guy,
alcoholism isn't a thing there.
yeah, that's Tuesday.
Right.
Okay. But the way he described it made sense. Like, oh yeah, this dude's fucking done this shit. Okay. And same with Vegas, because at least that one where I was like, well, I don't really know about Ireland. But when he started talking about Vegas and all the bullshit he did there, I'm like, oh man, this dude's been there. He's living it. He's not making it up. This isn't, going to Vegas in the abstract. This is, he went to Vegas and this is what he did and this is what he saw. And this is the bullshit he did in Vegas while he was there. And I'm like, oh, I get Vegas because I've spent plenty of time in Vegas, enough time to know that I could never live there because I would end up dead. And so, I have limitations.
Right.
And so, but when he started describing Vegas, I'm just like, oh shit. Okay, so yeah, that makes me think that at least with the Ireland part, with the drinking part, the dude probably knew what the hell he was doing and what he was talking about. So
yeah. No, it's true.
Christian,
Ireland.
good evening, buddy.
Yeah, what's up, Christian? Mage Wolf. Yeah, the drinking part was that sort of set the stage because I think in the beginning of the book he was saying the last time that he had gotten really drunk, the experience of drinking was when he was 14 or 16 or something. Like really let himself go. Like he's always kind of tried to hold it together, hold it all in, and just be this like kind of square work a day guy, get the job done, and take care of my family. Which is fine, that's good. That's part of what you need to do if you do have a wife and a family is to take care of them, but that's not all there is. So that's why this trip was fantastic and great for his like complete masculine mental health.
Well, to go and be the antithesis of the gay monastery, the retarded playground,
The retarded
home,
yeah.
Everybody's worried about red flags and tattoos and, don't do anything that might, get your dick to tingle. I'm more of the mind, again, it goes back to that whole, everything in moderation. No, how do you know what moderate is until you've gone beyond? So I'm a little more of the mind of how do you know what your limits are? How do you know until you've pushed them? Which is why I appreciated this book, because the dude was definitely testing his limits.
Oh yeah,
even
in
after
everything.
a while, the guys were like, "Dude, you need to get the fuck out of Ireland because you're like turning pasty white."
He's getting all sick and shit. He hasn't eaten. He's lost weight.
He's lost weight. He's actually like declining, and it's like, and even he's finally like, "Oh yeah, maybe it's probably time to move on."
Yep.
But he didn't know until he knew.
Yep. He pushed those limits. He did that very quickly when he went for the playing part where he went to Vegas and he wound up meeting a stranger getting the luggage late at night.
Oh yeah, the
dude Rick
play. Yeah, Rick.
Yeah, the fitness instructor for like high end people and actors and actresses, where he would just like disappear for a while, work when he wanted to, go fuck some chicks, come back, go golfing. That was their thing too. They did a lot of existential talk around golf and a lot of things that transpired on the golf course as far as figuring shit out and how what life like how life. I would have to go back and take a look. I may even have highlighted some shit, but how certain aspects of life were totally and completely, at least as far as he was concerned, like a golf game.
Right. Oh, totally.
So,
Well, I think Vegas was his second step into not giving a fuck.
oh yeah,
Because first he had to go and just full on, drink himself out of his sorrows and all that and test his limits to the point where everybody around him was like, dude, he's getting pasty
right.
and losing weight. And he's finally even like, yeah, maybe this is a bit much. But then he goes to Vegas where the don't give a fuck is still there, but now it's a little more refined. It's okay, yeah, I'm a personal trainer, dude. Rick's the guy, and I'm gonna, he doesn't give a fuck. He just doesn't drink to excess and do all kinds of really wild shit. He's somewhat aware of himself, but he just doesn't give a fuck.
Nope.
And
Not
that's
at
one of
all.
the things I loved about that when he's doing the Vegas tour, that it's like, okay. And newsflash for the guys watching this. For the first 2/3 of the book, the drink and the play part, other than him busting the nose of the chick, that he ended up taking to the ER, and his buddy's like, dude, why are we here? Why do you care? You're not fucking her. Okay. There was no fucking for the first 2/3 of the book.
No, he wound up talking or being in the company of. They took some ladies out for the evening,
Yeah, but
and
he
he was
just
in the
had no
company. But
desire or whatever. And I'm just like, man, I'm
yeah, he
disappointed.
did. He didn't. There's no sexual debauchery. And
Especially
then
in Vegas. I mean, it's fucking Vegas. But he did describe Vegas very well, that enough that I'm like, oh yeah, this dude was there. And I
yep.
get it, he's doing his own journey and he's just wasn't thinking about it and he's figuring other shit out because that's what we as men need to do occasionally. So I get it, and that's why I kind of give him a pass, that's like, okay. But at the same time, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little disappointed because I'm thinking, man, besides the drinking, it's like, oh, we're gonna get to the fucking here in Ireland. Nah, he just busted her nose. Oh, we're gonna get to the fucking in Vegas. It's Vegas. It's Sin.
No, he just it was very chaste.
Yeah, it was. It was very monastery.
Yeah.
All right.
I think he did that on purpose too to save that was the denouement.
Well,
He would kind of save that because that's the fucking chapter. So let's save all the
yeah,
fucking for
and
you.
I get that. Which I gotta use the bathroom real quick, but I want to come back to that because now I'm starting to wonder. Now you got me thinking. God damn it!
I know. There we go. Got him thinking. All right, Rob's going to go touch himself in the swimsuit area and go drain the lizard. But yeah, this book was. I mean, it's worth it. It's definitely a guy's book. 100 and exactly. And it says the end at the end. I like books that say the end. 195 pages, so a moderate novel. So yeah, this is quite fun. Another interesting part about Melissa Gilbert, or Elizabeth Gilbert, who wrote Eat, Pray, Love, the opposite end of this book that I was talking about in the beginning. Her and her husband, the one she wound up leaving her, in literary terms, this guy for, Jose Nunez, I think his name is, or was. She wound up divorcing him and going lesbian. The whole thing's a shit show. But apparently they opened up it's called Two Buttons, a shop, like sort of a curiosity shop with things from Thailand and what you'd call the Orient, different odds and ends and rugs and statues and fossils and shit, over here in Frenchtown, New Jersey. So a friend of mine had gone up there with his wife years ago, and he knew I was into Buddhist stuff and Tibetan shit because I was studying Kung Fu at the time. He's like, "Oh, I just got a Tibetan singing bowl at this place. You might be interested in it." He had no idea who owned it. And then I wound up finding out. I'm like, "Oh, that's kind of weird." I never saw them, but that was their shop. Uh, and I went up there. I'm like, "Oh, that's kind of cool. I got a few statuettes and a couple other things and some gifts for friends." But it's now defunct and out of business. But a little bit of trivia. So that shit was local. Anyway, all right. Rob's back from draining the lizard, and you said I got you thinking about the final chapter, the fucking chapter.
Well, yeah, because it kind of ties into that one. Because like we kind of, blew our load real fast at the beginning of the show. The fucking part was, the part that I was looking the most forward to. And granted, he starts off with a bang, literally. That it's like, okay, so the dude's getting to the fucking part, the part that I'm most interested in. It's like, well, this is my thing because the drinking, I got that. The playing, whether it's gambling or something else, I got that. It's the fucking that I'm, the most curious about. And he starts off well. He does. Yeah. He's found himself a younger, hotter, tighter, and he's just being debaucherous with her, but yet his mind.
Yeah, she's like 22 or something.
Yeah, and she's all down with threesomes and orgies and doesn't give a fuck. But yet his mind keeps going back to that chick that he met originally.
Oh, the camera woman. Yeah.
Yeah, the reporter or whatever the hell she was.
They were doing it. They were doing some kind of
like a documentary.
Yeah.
But his mind kept going back to her, and I'm like, oh no.
But here, let's back it up and give him some context. He meets her in the second chapter. I
thought he met her in the first chapter.
I'm sorry, the first chapter. Yeah, the first chapter.
He met her in Ireland.
Yeah, towards the tail end of his Ireland trip. And then doesn't run into her in Vegas.
No, but he was thinking about her because
he was thinking about her. Yeah, there was that undercurrent of one-itis.
That's where I was like, oh no, 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 dude, no. And ultimately, he's got a one-itis, and he forgoes a yacht that would, make Andrew Tate green with envy, with a whole bunch of hose on it.
Wait, he winds up diving off of it. Looking dork.
Out of the boat where he could have banged his 22-year-old chick and a whole bunch of other women, and goes back to shore so that he can catch up to his one true love.
And it's funny though,
goes on to marry her type of thing, or live with her, or whatever.
I think they get married. I think they got married. Yeah. It's like they were. He dove off the yacht as it was heading back out to sea. The buddy that invited him on the yacht's like, "What the fuck, dude?" The girl,
what?
Right? The girl that he was there with didn't even realize he was gone. So he's like, all practically fully clothed, swimming to the dock, gets off, doesn't find the girl. So he's running through the jungle, gets fucking lost,
and then gets hit by a Jeep or whatever that she was in.
Exactly. He comes to a road at the same time one of their drivers of the Jeep that she's in for the documentary just slams into him. So he winds up with a broken fucking hip, and I think a punctured lung and a busted arm.
Yeah, he was fucked up.
He was completely fucked up.
And she kind of hangs around. She doesn't nurse him back to health, but she ends up hanging around while he recovers. And then after he recovers, they go back, and next thing you know, it's wedded bliss. And that's where I was just extremely disappointed in the end. And what it was tying to, Vince, it made me think that maybe this book is bullshit. Not that I didn't enjoy it. I did. I enjoyed it. But maybe it's bullshit.
Oh, I don't think it's really the husband.
No. Oh, no.
Yeah,
I never thought that.
It's not. I mean, is that what you mean? I don't think it
No.
like.
No. It wasn't, the girl who decided to go and eat, pray, love. And this is her actual husband going, well, yeah, bitch. Fuck you.
It's just someone who's playing off of her book.
This was just some dude who read her book and was like, oh yeah, Well, I'm going to give you the guy's perspective,
Exactly.
just to be a cheeky bastard, to use some British euphemisms here. All right. So that part, no, this isn't the guy. This is not the guy.
No.
So that much I figured out early on.
Yeah,
But
it's just a point of view.
it was such an inspirational tale up to the fucking. Okay. Because I'm sitting there thinking, man,
The end of the fucking anyway.
if I would have wrote this book, and let's assume I went to Ireland and got drunk, and Vince and a bunch of other guys showed up and said, dude, you're not looking good.
Looking like shit, Rob.
Yeah, and I would have said like, maybe you're right. And then I would have gone to Vegas, which Vegas is my town. It is. That's why I don't live there, because I know what would happen if I did. I would die in Vegas.
I remember you saying that. Like, you know yourself so well.
Yes, I know myself well enough that Vegas is my town. And not only would I gamble and I wouldn't golf. But, if I met Rick and Rick wanted to give me his Taoist version of shit, that's cool. But I don't think I'd be doing a lot of golfing, but I'd probably do a lot of gambling and a lot of drinking. And I would be doing a lot of whoring in Vegas, because Vegas is renowned for that. It's called Sin City. That's why I don't live there, because I would be dead by now.
Yeah.
Okay? I would drink, play, and fuck myself to death in Vegas.
Hey, that's a good way to go.
Well, it is. I'm not saying it's not, but there would be no visit to Thailand, because I'd be dead in Vegas. Which that's where I'm getting
refund your tickets.
Yeah, because that's where I'm getting back to, this guy goes to Vegas, and all he does is have philosophical conversations with Rick, even though Rick's pounding tail like there's no tomorrow. Rick's fucking as well as playing golf and doing his thing. And yet this guy doesn't, which I get. He kind of laid it out that it's like, okay, all right, you're a bit of a softie, but okay. But the fact that it took him till Thailand to be like, all right, let's enter the land of pussy. And I'm thinking, oh man, there's no goddamn way I'd have jumped off that yacht. There's no way.
No, there would have been
surfing and pussy. That's just all there would have been to it. If I wrote the book, I'd have been like, this guy
fucking in chapter 1.
Well, there's that. I'd have been fucking in Ireland. I wouldn't have busted the chick's nose. I'd have been banging her.
Would have busted your nut.
Yeah, exactly. At the end of, in Thailand with the hose on the yacht, I would have been like, what Rob thought about this girl that he met back in Ireland. And yet he's got all these other half naked, 3/4 naked chicks on a yacht with a dude going, eh? And I've been like, and so Rob, swallowed himself up in a sea of pussy and was never heard from again.
That's right. Got lost down a vagina with his miner's cap.
Yeah, exactly. There'd have been no jumping off, swimming to the dock, and Vince going, dude, what the fuck? Where are you going, man? There'd have been none of that. I'd have been like,
Rob and I would be divvying up the women, like which ones we wanted, like a goddamn fucking volleyball game.
Dude, there would have been divvying up that these ones are mine for now, those ones are yours, and
then we'll swap. Eskimo brothers.
Christian, it was disappointing in that sense. Now, I will say in defense of the book, okay, one, it's a fun read. I enjoyed it. I literally read it in a day. I think it was like less than 9 hours I read this thing. So it's easy to read. And the author, Andrew Gottlieb, he knows how to write. Okay. And he had enough experience, especially with Vegas, that I'd say that, okay, at least the dude knew Vegas. Rather this
Vegas and knew golf. Yeah.
Yeah. Whether this story happened or not, he knows Vegas because I know Vegas. So in that respect, I could say, oh shit, this dude was there. He understands Vegas. Okay. Yeah. I can't speak for Ireland because I've never been there. Same with Thailand. I've never been there, but I've been to Vegas on more than one occasion. So he has a very easy to read but engaging style of writing. You do see the humor in it. You are laughing because
you're laughing out loud. Yeah.
Yeah. It's entertaining as hell. It is. Yeah. It's entertaining as hell. And even the end when, he decides to do the one-itis thing, although the major part of me is like, oh, That's disappointing. There's still a part of me that was like, that's cool. You know, the dude,
good for him.
this is, good for him. This
Good
is
for
what
him.
he wanted. So, you know what? While that wouldn't be my story, if there's any truth to this story, okay, you know, the dude did what he wanted to do. And I respect that. I respect it, even though my version would have a totally different ending. But that's because it's me. So,
Yep.
would I recommend this? Yeah, I would. I would recommend it just because it's easy to read. It's not a big book. I mean,
I was just saying it's 193 pages.
Oh, there you. Thank you. You beat me to it. I was just going to grab it to see how
I
many pages.
was
it
mentioning that when you left. I was like, I got to talk about something. I'll talk about the page count.
It's it's not even 200 pages. Like I said, I read it in less than an 8, like 9 hours. And that's while I was also dealing with the belly dancer. So I'm reading a bunch of it while she's sleeping or while she's doing her thing. And I'm just fucking, when I read it, I was at her house and I read the whole thing in less than a day. It was that easy. It was that short. I did enjoy it. I enjoyed it immensely, which is why I'm glad we're talking about it. Is I don't want to shit on it.
No. It's a good book.
It's not a how-to manual. I'll tell you what. It's not.
No. It's kind of like cool to see, even if it's in a fictional literary form, a guy kind of like
figuring his shit out
and finding his balls a little bit. He really did. So it was it's good in that respect. And for I don't read as much.
Don't
fiction.
read into it.
Oh yeah, don't read into it. It's not a goddamn manual. And I don't read I was about to say I don't read as much fiction as I used to.
Yeah, same here.
But this was nice
an entertaining read. It was a light, easy read.
Exactly. This is nice to come back to because Rob and I go back and forth with like, hey, you suggest a book, I'll suggest a book, whatever. And I thought, yeah, you know what? I was cleaning some of my books. I'm like, oh shit, this would be a good one to do for Books and Broads.
Yeah.
So
because it's light, it's entertaining, it's nachos. You guys understand nachos.
Yeah, it's mind candy.
It's not outrage. It's not whamming shit. It's just nachos. It's entertaining. It's light. It's quick. It's easy.
Like
the
your
only
mom.
one that might, exactly. It's like your mom. It's
like our
easy.
moms.
The only one that might struggle with this book maybe is Bull Rush, but I even think at his level, he could get through it pretty fast.
He can mark it up with crayon, the salient points. He goes back to and check the dictionary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he can ask us questions on Telegram.
Yeah, there you go. Even he could probably get through it in a week. So
he can take it to his book club.
Yeah, exactly. Or show it to his girl that he likes to do electrolysis or whatever the fuck he's doing these days on her.
Electrolysis.
Well, he is playing with electricity.
He's doing the electrostim stuff. Yeah.
That's which I am interested in that. That's why I had to call it electrolysis. He's getting rid of hair.
I'm cleaning out my storage unit. And I've got my cattle prod. I'll take a photo of it for you and send it to you.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, I have. I know. I bought it from a husbandry place, cattle place. It's a legitimate cattle prod. That fucker. I hit my foot by mistake with that. Oh shit.
Yeah, you woke up 20 minutes later and said, "Ow."
Yes, I did. So I'm like, well, I survived that by accident.
Yeah.
So I can use this on my girls' bottom of their feet, and yeah. So.
Well, there you have it.
Good stuff.
So it's not a bad read. I enjoyed it, but it's not. You're not gonna get anything out of it that you haven't already found in the Gay Monastery. Let's put it that way.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's definitely not a how-to manual.
No. Nope.
That much for sure. Hey, speaking of how-to manuals, how's things going with your newsletter and your thing with them?
Well, it's going well. We'll be up this Friday. Will be the third newsletter. We already have 75 or 76 subscribers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's pretty good organic. I got a shit ton of them by posting some of those things that I did recently that were BDSM related with some photos, and then just said, "Get on the list." If you want to know about this, get on the list. For you, lead paint eating fuckers want to know, get on the list. So we're working
Nice.
on, and then we've been recording our videos for the our course.
Well,
So
the
that's good.
reason I even thought about it, because I'm not kidding you. I just right now, I have a couple of tabs open on, my browser. Obviously this one's open for the StreamYard. I got another one open where I'm talking to the belly dancer because I can text on the computer as well as do it on my phone.
Cool.
And then I've got Twitter open. Okay.
Hmm.
And I am literally right now, this moment, looking at M talking, doing a little YouTube short type thing, couple of minutes long, 562 views. And it's her saying update. The YouTube videos aren't uploaded yet, but here's a link to the channel. So it's the YouTube channel you guys have.
That's her personal one, which she'll be linking to ours. Ours is going to go live probably late by tomorrow before the MGD&D game.
Oh, okay.
We're going to have a YouTube channel wherein we both answer questions and talk about a topic like within 10 to 15 minutes, like these little bites. That seems to be the sweet spot.
Yeah.
Anything longer than that, like even with Masculine Geek, when I go look at the metrics, I think our average viewing time is like 20 minutes.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And
that's because everyone's a fucking goldfish.
Yeah, pretty much.
Dude, that's the part that I don't know if Bull and Nick have looked at their analytics when they host Let 'em Burn, but I've looked at mine every time I host it. And peak time watching is about 20, 25 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That it's like, that's about the max. After that, it falls off a cliff.
Yeah. I mean, it gets views, and the watched hours are, middling to fair, but it's most people. I mean, that's why we've got the live chat, which is nice because that's where we get most of our engagement. So it's usually the same 20 people.
Yeah, well, yeah, you have the diehards,
which is nice. That's nice to have fans.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Governor Megatron, Bacon.
Supporters. Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
No, they're in the chat now.
You get those few guys that show up at the beginning and they stay to the bitter end. Mm-hmm. But the majority, it's about 20, 25 minutes.
Yeah, it's nothing huge. But our actual our Dominant Life channel will be up by late evening tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
I got I take full responsibility for it. I allowed myself to get sidetracked over the weekend.
Yeah, that's okay. It was the Labor Day, or no, it was 9/11. That's what it was. Blame it on the terrorists. I blame Mish. He said they lost their best pilot during that time. So
it's that towelhead's fault.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking raghead.
Well, he did say they lost their best pilot, so go figure.
Yeah, that's true. And that's not saying too much, actually.
Well, no, the guy didn't land the fucker, so, but he was able to hit a mark.
He did. He landed in a manner of speaking.
Well, yes, there's that. I guess touchdown counts when that happens. Oh, wait, too soon? I don't know.
Too soon. No, I think we're good. Jesus Christ. Shit. But yeah, so that'll be up. The actual, I've already got the domain name, and a few other things. Working on a Twitter account, and like I said, the YouTube will be up and running shortly. Nice. We'll do our first recording this Thursday, actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it won't be live. We'll just post them when they're done.
Oh, no,
at least I don't think we're going to do them live. I think I'm going to record them using StreamYard and then upload them later.
Right. Well, I've learned from my experiments with StreamYard as far as, is it live? Is it Memorex? And maybe, bigger channels that are already established have a different point of view. But in my experience, the live ones like this do tend to get more views, more time in, whatever you want to call it. But the potential, downside is you get distracted. At least I do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching the chat. I'm like, oh, I need to engage with Megatron, or I need to say something to Bacon, and it's like, no, stay on target. Like what Luke was told. Stay on target. Where if you record it ahead of time and then release it down the road, you don't have that distraction. But
Yeah.
the videos I've done pre-recorded tend to not have as many views. That's what I've seen.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. We'll do a test. We may do some live, like we do a live Q&A for about half an hour. Maybe
Sure.
do one of those once a month. We're not sure like the consistency we're going to do with this. We haven't really talked about that yet. I'm going to assume like once a week will probably be a good, at least once a week, a good release. Put out a video once a week. Maybe set it to go off on the weekend. I'll say. Like right now the newsletter goes out every Friday morning, Friday afternoon.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad, like I said, I wasn't trying to put you on the spot or nothing, but where I just literally saw her talking about whatever, I was like, oh yeah, you guys got this shit going on.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was just kind of curious how that was going.
Yeah, no worries. I don't mind answering any questions that I can.
Just like I said, I know you've been, occupied with turning your girl into a bookshelf while you paddle her.
Well, there's another one. An Instagram seduction that I'm completing.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, all right, you know what? Getting you off Instagram, got her onto text, got her off of text, got her into my wine shop. And we were out we're out on Sunday. We closed the place actually.
Oh.
Yeah, and then she's like, when are you gonna tie me up? When are you gonna tie me up? I'm like, probably as soon as possible. She's like, good, I can't wait. So I'm like, I think we're gonna do that on Friday. So
Nice.
Friday's the and she's never done it before. She's interested.
Oh,
Yeah, she's exactly. Yeah, she started following. We followed each other on Instagram for a while. She works at one of my cigar shops that I go to. She works part-time.
Okay.
And she's been late. Whenever here's a hint for you. Rob and I may have mentioned this before. On social media, if a woman starts tagging you in things or making comments on your posts and liking a lot of your shit, she's interested in you, and not in the friendly way. Basically, she's interested in you in the I want your cock kind of way. But she's not going to really come out and say that. So it's up to you to not fuck it up and make the moves. So, and I'm good at that. So that's what I did. So she saw a lot of the bondage scenario photos that I have on my Instagram and the stuff that I shared other people's bondage photos, and that piqued her interest. And and the rest is history. So I'm probably going to use that as fodder for the newsletter. If you're not on that, check my Twitter, check the Masculine Geek Twitter. I have quite a few posts with the link for that. Not the Masculine Geek one that's in the bio, but in actual my Twitter feed. You scroll through it and do some research and look that up and get on the list. We put out articles and essays and sort of like little quick how-tos and whatnot in the realm of BDSM with different topics every week. And I think one of my topics will be this latest conquest, as it were, this BDSM seduction of this woman.
Your cigar game is basically what we're going to talk about here.
Exactly. We can use that.
Don't call it that, because then there's all kinds of like Freudian shit.
I know, right? Sometimes a cigar is not a cigar. That's a good idea.
Cigar is bondage.
Exactly.
Hey, that reminds me, without going into details, you and I talked when I was in Philly. How's Operation Evil going? Is that still a thing, or did you put it on hold, or is it dead in the water?
No, that's still going. That's past
Nice.
chapter. Well, I'm like working on chapter 4 now.
Oh, nice. All right, excellent. Good.
Yep.
Glad to hear it.
Yeah,
And that's all I'm gonna say about that. I just didn't know because I hadn't heard nothing, and so I figured, hey, dude, we talked about that.
yeah, we talked about that when we had M on the Masculine Geek Life private Zoom. And if you got any, I know Bacon was not there, so he's not going to know about it. But Bacon is a Masculine Geek Life subscriber, which also I'll be sending out Bacon the instructions for rejoining up because I had everyone cancel their accounts, and we're going to redo on a new platform that I have. Anyway, if you're not on Masculine Geek Life, yeah, I've done premieres before, Bacon. They're pretty cool. If you're not on Masculine Geek Life, you do not know what Rob and I are talking about. So
No. Well, and I don't know, because this was kind of just between you and me.
no, I mentioned it briefly on the chat. You were there.
Was I?
Yeah.
I mean, I know I was there, but I just maybe I've been drinking too much.
Yeah, I mentioned it briefly during the private chat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that is still something that I'm curious about your version of Operation Evil, how that's going.
Yeah. I don't get me wrong, Bacon. I didn't call that Operation Evil. What I'm going to do is using as a marketing technique.
Right. This was just a thing. It's almost like an inside joke.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. That one that can be potentially very lucrative.
So, yeah, very lucrative.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But
this is another one of those areas, about moderation and everything. How do you know moderation until you've beyond? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because we had a heart to heart about morality on this one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes, indeed. So Rob and M will be the first ones reading the manuscript one. That's probably around, I think, the 6th chapter will give good meat to the story. So I think it'd be good to share with you guys.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
I can get some feedback from a male and female perspective.
Yeah. Oh, I like it.
Thank you.
I like it.
Yeah. With all the other stuff, I was thinking the other day, I'm like, you know what? I have something to do, which is not bad. I'm not complaining. Just an observation. I'm like, I have something on my plate, and sometimes a lot of things each day on my plate, like every goddamn day. I like the idea of just like waking up and going, oh, I wonder what I'm gonna like. I don't have that anymore.
Yeah.
It's just not there, and then that's of my own doing, my own contrivance. But it's just interesting to note. I've never really been this busy for this length of time ever. Because you and I both work full-time jobs.
Hell yeah.
And we've got women
and then some.
Yeah, we've got women, and then we've got our writing, and you got the blog, and then you got the
shows and
the
everything.
shows, and I've got this new endeavor with M and the Masculine Geek stuff, and the 3-4 books that I'm writing.
Yeah, you're definitely you have a fuller plate than even I do. It's funny you bring that up about having a full plate, because I was actually thinking about it today as I was driving home from work. Okay, so I've had a couple of different women show up, and literally 2 out of 3 of them dropped off within a couple of days of each other. Okay, which is fine. They had their reasons, and it is what it is. That's the price you pay when you don't do monogamy. Okay. The belly dancer's still around because she's still in the same spot. She's still good for now. Who knows? I don't see it changing anytime soon, but hey, those could be famous last words.
Life being what it is.
Right. Yeah, life being what it is. Belly dancer for now, still, in it to win it.
Cool.
But the couple of other ones that showed up, they trickled out. One happened real fast. The other one was a little faster than I anticipated, but that's okay. So of course, back to meeting women. But right now, as I was driving home tonight, I was like, to quote Jack, to quote Jack, this is also tiresome.
Does he do the side too? Does he do the side?
He does.
That's
He's
awesome.
like,
Okay.
also tiresome. And I get it because I'm like, I'm kind of fucking burned out for a minute because I
Right.
got
Yeah.
like 3 other women I'm talking to. And while, hey, yeah, I would love to bang, at the same time, I'm just like, God, this is so tiresome.
Right.
You know,
I've been there several times. I'm probably getting close to that now.
I get it, man. I get
Fuck.
it. But that's where I'm thinking, other than the belly dancer, I'm thinking I might take a short hiatus. How
There
long
you go.
that is, maybe a month, maybe 2, but just literally be like, I'm not going to deactivate my accounts or turn off the apps. It's like, oh no, but I'm just not going to pursue because the couple of women that have showed up, I'm just like, here we go again.
I know, right?
And part of
Yeah.
me just doesn't even want to. I'm just like,
I hope they drop off, right? You're like,
yeah,
oh
almost.
fuck.
Yeah. It's
I
like,
hope the garbage takes itself out,
yeah, exactly. Let the trash take itself out,
right?
because
It's
it is,
funny.
it's
I
just
was
tiresome.
It really is. It really can. It's a fun tiresome. I was talking about this with N the other day, about the, and we've talked about this ourselves. The sort of like peaks and troughs of dating, whether it's in the real world or dating apps. It's like feast or famine.
Yep.
Like right now, I've got, well, the new Scar girl, I'll call her, and then my main,
All
and
right.
then one that I met at, she's a server at the wine bar that I go to. She's like 28. Um, she got a little flaky, so I essentially ignored her. But she was working a lot. In fact, they fired her because she wanted a day off, and they wouldn't give it to her.
Oh,
She took the
Jesus.
day off anyway. She's like,
Yeah.
because I got this text because I hadn't heard from her for like months. So I'm like, all right, well, you're done. And I hadn't seen her. She just like disappeared. And I'm like, well, all right, whatever, it's fine. So I get this text from someone. She's like, did you hear I got fired? LOL. I said, no, but I don't even know who you are. Who is this? Who the fuck are you? And she's like, it's so and so, like with a question mark and a smiley face. I'm like, oh, okay. Like how?
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Like that's
Anyways,
nice, right? And then she's like asking me all these questions and talking about that. And she's like, now that I have all this time, if you want to get together again, I'm like, you're cute actually, and you got a great dumper, got a nice crapper. You have more time. You've expressed interest in wanting to go motorcycle riding, and you're in the process of wanting to move out west to go find yourself.
oh God. Okay, so she's doing eat, pray, love. Okay.
She's doing eat pray. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna drink. I'm gonna drink, play, fuck your ass until you do. So there's that. So I mean, and I'm totally fine with that. Whatever happens with that, that's cool because
Right. Right.
she was always fun to talk to when I was at the wine bar. But so that's so. And then one off of, is it Tinder or no? This is okay. Stupid. This goth chick. I'm not sure how this one's going. We'll see.
It's
So
just so tiresome.
it is. I'm having fun with it, and
Yeah.
a lot of my buddies at work like live vicariously through me because they're all sad and tired and
Oh, kind
married.
of like the guys on the internet.
Yeah, pretty much. They're all sad and tired, and yeah, she's 28, Eric, and good to see you. Yeah, it's funny because she, in the process of her talking about her different stuff that's happened to her, I was like, oh, you're just a fucking hot mess. I was just messing with her and teasing her. She's like, oh, well, I cut and dyed my hair, like I got dumped. I'm like, what? I was like, did someone dump your ass? Because if not, they should, because you shouldn't be fucking cutting and dyeing your hair. But she dyed it a normal color, just like a lighter brown.
Oh,
and she cut it. It was really long. She just cut it to her shoulder, so it's really not. I was thinking like a pixie cut, and I was just going to give her some shit.
yeah,
Because
the A-frame.
so I
Yeah,
say, look, I want to see you now. Send me a photo. Send me a photo. I'm like, oh, that's
that's
minimally
acceptable.
acceptable. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
you're skating a line, but okay.
yeah, like a retard kid. You're minimally exceptional.
You're minimally retarded, but
You're
okay.
minimally retarded with that hair, but it kind of works. It kind of
Yeah,
works for her
yeah,
skin
why
color.
not? Yeah.
So yeah, she's there's a goth chick. Yeah, she's 30. She's 31 or 32. So right now there's a 28, 31 or 32, 42, and 49. So I got the bases covered with. I'll tell
Nice.
you though, it is. I mean, just physically, because I'm an older dude. I'm like, it's tiring. Like,
It really is, dude.
I was
It's
like,
just
holy shit.
it's all so tiresome,
Yeah,
And I know, give me, a few weeks, a month,
you'll
maybe
be
two
back doing
months.
the same thing,
I'll totally, but I'm literally thinking, I think I'm burnt out.
right?
That while I figured out the feast famine part as far as if you don't want a famine, you always have to be closing. You always have to be on the apps or out on the street and doing your
Yep.
thing. It never ends. The grind in that sense never ends.
Yeah,
Okay. And you
but
got to be good with that.
exactly. But the famine parts can be good because then you can get some shit done. You can read the books that you want to read because
Well,
Rob
and that's what
knows.
I'm thinking. Besides the reading, there's some shit I've been watching lately that I'm like, well, fuck, this is entertaining. Hell, this is more entertaining than talking to the chick going, hey, how was your weekend? And she's like, it was good. How was yours? And
Right.
it's like, this is tiresome. I'd rather watch Star Wars. And so that's kind of where I'm like, maybe I need to take a break from, just not look at the apps and just do my thing and deal with the
Right.
belly dancer and call it good for a
Exactly.
while.
No, that sounds like a good plan to me. I may be joining you soon too, and just telling these girls to go fuck themselves. We'll see what happens. Like I said, the cigar girl, that's going to be an intro to bondage for her
Yeah, you're
on
initiating
on
her.
Friday. So I'm pretty much yeah. She's going to get baptized with in more ways than one. She's going to be baptized on Friday. So we'll see.
Nice.
Yep. Yep.
I like it. I like it. Wow.
Thank you. Rah.
Wow.
So we're coming up on almost the hour mark. Sometimes what we like to do is just like if you have any questions, and it could be anything question, not just about the book. You can ask about the book if you want. You can ask about what book we're going to do next. You can ask a
Which is a
BDSM.
good question because I
It is a
don't
good
know.
question, right? Well, Rob, we did, and I'm almost done the first 2 volumes of Casanova. How far have you gotten into it?
Not one fucking iota.
Shit. Okay, well, definitely, definitely not that one yet. So
No, not
I'll
that
I'll
one.
I'll find something that's up the alley of
Up my
this.
alley.
Up your
Up
alley, you
your
son of a
ass.
bitch. Up your ass. If it was in your ass, you'd know it. Um, something up the order of this, and about the same length. That's what she said. About the same length, and then we can read that because we're gonna get back to doing these once a month again.
Yeah.
These are fun.
Oh, they are fun, but yeah, no, Casanova. I know that I'm gonna have to, go monk mode and no fap and all that.
You're not allowed to touch yourself.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to like go full hardcore where everyone's gonna be like, "What happened to Rob? Did he die or something?"
We need a
Dude,
break.
Bacon, you know what?
You're not far off the mark.
I said that on Twitter here the other day, like a week ago. I was like, guys, I need you to help me out. Would you fuck these women, please?
Right.
Because man, I've been taking one for the team for a while here, and I just need
There's
you
a
to
lot of
step up.
there's a lot here. I was talking about this with somebody. We may have talked about it before. I'm sure we did, especially with the Village by the Sea trips. Like looking back, looking as older men, looking back at all these younger guys and these young dudes with with this their new knowledge, their newfound knowledge, they're kids with dynamite. They can wax intellectual, about everything, and old red pill stuff, and dating, and even philosophy.
Oh
You
yeah,
can
quote,
wax,
Rolo, chapter and verse. Yeah.
yeah. But you don't have any experience to back it up.
Well, yeah, you never
There's
hear
nothing
guys sitting
there.
around going, "Man, it's all so tiresome." You don't hear any of these dickheads talking about that because they're not doing anything with it.
Exactly. Exactly. It's like, well, another thing too, I have a problem with, like, which is one of the reasons why I had the idea for the BDSM, especially the dominant life stuff with the coursework, and the doing the actual school. I get a lot of questions about it. I have friends, people at work, guys at work, um, on social media, sometimes emails, asking me about certain things. And sometimes I'll email back or whatnot. But if I don't really know you, I'm not I'm not your buddy. I'm not your free font of knowledge.
Oh hell no! I'm not
I'm
an
not doing
information booth. I'm not gonna Google that for you.
exactly. And like, with the amount of time that I have left on this earth, my knowledge is precious to me because I went through this. I didn't have the internet
Hey, you
and
fucking
all.
earned it.
I earned it. I got my DS, my experience and world and life path with this. I walked the path. I did the stuff without the benefit of the internet. I mean, obviously the internet helped in later stages, but I went through all this, the heartbreak, the all the stuff involved with that kind of endeavor, with living life, and especially working and doing things with women. Um, a lot of you guys, I'm not saying anyone in the chat, but just in general, throwing that out there for whoever's watching. These guys don't have that. And part of me gets annoyed because, hey, I put in the fucking work, and now you want my knowledge and wisdom for free? No. No. You don't know me enough to value what I'm going to say. You just want some kind of in the moment palliative, or maybe you want to take my knowledge and play it off as your own. I've seen a little bit of that on social media. So I don't know you. You don't know me. My time is valuable. And if I don't put a price tag on it, you're not going to value it either. I don't plan on getting rich off of this, but my time is valuable. So that's the reason behind that.
I already
One of them,
found our
anyway.
next book.
Oh, cool. What do we got?
Well, first off, I have to say before I show it to you, it may not be so much about the broads part, but it is a
Okay.
book.
Okay.
And you're a philosophical motherfucker. I already know that about you.
True.
Okay. And I also know that you've studied based on some of your martial arts stuff. You've studied some of the Eastern philosophy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking if you don't have a copy of this, here's maybe something. And if you don't want to do it, it's fine. But here's one that I've been delving into.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have that.
Okay. Well, I'm thinking let's talk about the Tao.
Okay. We can
Let's
do
talk
that.
about the water because I've been getting into this pretty heavy lately that I'm like, oh man, this shit's great.
Oh, yeah.
Sure, you're not going to get a lot of BDSM and a lot of titillation and titties, but at the same time, we both, I know Vince and I know me, that I'm sure we can tie titties to the Tao.
Oh, absolutely, you can. You can tie the Dow to. Well, the Dow is still titties. I mean,
It
it
really
is.
is. When you get down to
When you come down to
the
it.
Tao is the way.
Yeah.
Literally, that's the translation to the word Tao is the way.
Exactly.
So, but I'm thinking, for our next, philosophical / book / broad, and let's talk about that one.
Yeah, Governor Megatron. Yeah, Alan Watts is good. I started. Well,
He's fucking great.
Yeah, I initially started because it was part of my philosophical work in college, and then when I got into psychology, I still studied him, and then I had a lot of his book. I still have things on fucking cassette. His lectures on cassette. So I still have them. Listen to them. But it had been a while since I read anything further or kept up with my Alan Watts knowledge and
See,
studying,
and for
and then
me, there was some podcasts that you can get. There's one on Spotify by
hmm
his son, by
yep,
Mark,
yep,
called Being in the Way,
yep.
which there's all kinds of double entendres and shit like that going on there with the name, which is why I loved it. And that's what got me started. Not that I didn't know or I hadn't heard of Alan Watts, I had, but it's his son curating some of the best lectures and whatnot that this guy has given over, during the 60s, the early 70s before he died, all of that. Well,
Yeah.
I went to the alanwatts.org website and dropped about $300 on like the entirety of his lectures that they have on file. And so between that and buying this book, because I'm really interested in between his Zen talks and his Tao talks, because for guys who don't know, who the fuck's Alan Watts? He was a dude back he was born back in like 1915, but he kind of came to prominence during the late 50s, early 60s, wrote a fuck ton of books, very easy to read, very small.
MGTOW, masculine geek towel.
No shit. It's not a bad idea.
Right.
But he did a lot of these lectures and a lot of these talks, and he's very entertaining. He's a philosopher. He's a Western philosopher. He grew up English as in British, and spent quite a bit of time studying and going over to the Far East and learning about their way of doing things, their cultures, their philosophies.
Oh, and Rob, we can right now, what you're talking about him and his history, we can tie it back to titties. He was famous for banging a lot of his female students.
Well,
So,
there's that
yeah.
too.
So there you go.
I don't want to have the spoiler alert, but there it is.
Yep.
Okay, so the dude diddled a lot of his students, when he was the college professor guy. But anyway, the dude, the one thing I really like about him is he came, because he started out where he went to like a ministry. He was going to become like a preacher or something.
He was going to be a priest.
Yeah, he totally was doing the Western philosophy with Christianity. He was all in it. And then shit happened. And so he started studying Eastern philosophies. And the thing that I like about Alan Watts is he's a Western man. So he understands our culture. He understands Western culture. And he went and studied Eastern philosophy, not just reading some books, but
he really brought it back. He brought it back here.
And
he
he
really
was
popularized
able to
it.
synthesize it in a way for a Western mind to understand what the hell the Chinese were talking about or what the Zen Buddhists were talking about. He's able to put it in a way, and he's not preachy. He's not like, oh, you should be a Zen Buddhist or, oh, you should be a Taoist. No, he's not trying to sell you a philosophy. He's just going, here's what I understand about it. And I loved something he said. And Alan said in one of his lectures, he said, in order to understand your culture, whatever it is, you have to understand what other cultures are about. Otherwise, you're never going to fully understand your own culture. And where he's able to take a lot of Eastern stuff, which is very foreign to a Western mind, and he breaks it down in a way that a Western mind like me, I'm a fucking dumbass, and he can make me understand it. That I'm like, oh shit, okay, this makes sense. Because some of the translations, because he understands Chinese, okay, he's studied with the people. That the idea of Tao and then day or duh, duh translates into virtue, which we then get all these weird ideas of what virtue is. And he's like, actually, that's not what they really meant. It's more along the lines of this. And it's like, oh shit, that makes sense now. Okay. It's not this, I'm virtuous and it's all about morality and all this other bullshit that we think it is. And so I've been kind of where you haven't seen me a whole hell of a lot on the internet as much in the last little bit, besides fucking a lot of women that you guys aren't. You're not helping me here, guys. You're not helping me out, which I mean is okay on one end. The greedy me is like, yeah, more for me. But part of me is like, dude, I need a break. I need you guys to step up. Okay. I need you to start fucking some of these women because I can't. I'm never going to get through them all. Okay. There's not enough time left on the planet. It's just not going to happen. So I need you to step up and do your part. But reading and listening to this stuff, and I'm just like, oh man, it totally, for me makes more sense that it's like, oh shit. So I'm proposing, Vince. Let's talk about the watercourse way. Let's talk about the Tao.
Cool. All right.
A little more books than broads, but at the same time,
we'll find a way to work that in.
Dude, we always tie titties to everything because titties are everything.
Titties are fucking awesome, man.
Mm-hmm.
Especially big titties.
Or as you say, nips.
Nips. The nips. The nips.
Nips.
It's like Carlin had something about, he's like, tits is kind of a funny word. He's like, because it was one of the 7 words you can't say on television.
Oh, yeah, at the time.
Like tits.
Yeah. Can't say tits back in the day.
Can't say tits. He's like, but tits is
there.
Right? He's like, tits is kind of like a snack. He's like, I know it's a sexual snack. He's like, that would be like tater tits or, cheese tits.
Yeah, cheese nacho tits. Yeah.
But they do make cheese nips, so that we can.
Oh, cheese nips would be all right.
Yeah,
but I like nips better for some reason. It just sounds a little more.
It's playful and funny.
Well, it's playful and funny, but it sounds more nourishing for me, at least.
It's like, I'm gonna have some nips.
Have some nips.
Have some nips. I'm gonna have my midnight snack of nips.
What was that you said about if you have to say it right, then you ain't it? That's what I was saying. That goes back to being the alpha male. If you have to say you're alpha, you're not.
That's right.
But in this case, that's the fun thing about the Tao that'll just mind fuck you. The eternal Tao, you cannot talk about the eternal Tao because when you do, you're not talking about the Tao.
Exactly. They're called Zen koans. Like, tell me what the sound of one hand clapping is, motherfucker.
Yeah, or the idea of superior virtue does not try to be virtue, therefore it's virtue. An inferior virtue says it's virtue, and therefore it is not. Exactly. And it's like, oh my God, everybody on the fucking internet, they're all inferior virtues, therefore they are not virtue.
Exactly. You're just getting James going, shut up, shut the fuck up.
Well, that is Tao.
Indeed.
That is the way of shutting the fuck up.
Yep.
So yeah, let's talk about that one. I think that'll be fun.
We'll add that for our October books and nips, books and broads for a volume 5.
BNN books and nips.
Books and nips. So now that you guys know the book that we're getting, if you want to, I think going forward we'll try to have the book. Rob, you want to throw that in the chat?
Oh yeah. Well, God, I gotta go onto YouTube to do that.
All right. If you guys want to,
give me a sec.
So you'll have a month to read it, essentially.
And it's not a long read. It is just as a little side note too. This Watercourse Way, the Tao, was Alan Watts' last book before he died, and in fact, he didn't finish it. He died before it was finished. And so the people who were with him and he was talking to and all of that, they actually finished this book, but it was his final book. So, and it's not a long, not long. I mean, this book's got how many pages? 134, and that's the bibliography and all the bullshit too. It's like the meat and potatoes.
It's about 100 pages.
128 pages.
Yeah.
So you guys fucking shit in 2 hours.
Yeah. So you guys don't be lazy, don't be lame. Pick that up, and then you can follow along with us and ask actual relevant questions, or actually give your own feedback or interpretation as well. So that'll be good. And I think going forward with the rest of the Books and Broad series, we'll make sure that like we did tonight, we figure out what book we're going to read, and then announce it so you can buy it. And no, you're not. There's no affiliate links. Just go on Amazon, throw in the title, and
I'm gonna throw the fucking link so you idiots know where to go. I'm gonna pull it up right now.
pull it up. See,
pull it up. See,
oh,
it's just taking me a minute here, but I'm getting it.
all right.
All right, so there's that. And then I gotta go to YouTube and I gotta turn a bunch of shit off so we don't get echo. It's so much easier when I'm actually running the show. I've realized that.
Yes.
God damn it.
God damn it. God damn it, Rob.
Here we go.
God damn it, woman. Pardon me. And you should be a moderator so you can post stuff.
Okay. Here's the fucking link. Oh shit, you know what? It's literally one character less. I love it. All right, let me get a shortener on this fucker.
The length too long. Oh.
It is actually. So here we go. Here's a link. Yeah, because this one literally the full Amazon link is not gonna cut it.
Okay.
Because it's literally over the 200 character limit. So there it is.
Cool.
Just to make sure before you guys start, being click happy, I'm gonna see if it's actually this link.
Make sure it's not going to like
it's there. That's
okay.
the one. So there you go. So cool. There's a link for you guys if you want to pick up a copy, whether you want a digital copy or you want a physical copy like the one I got.
Cool. We'll set that up for probably mid to end of October. So
plenty of time to fucking read it.
Exactly. All right, gentlemen, we're going to call it for tonight. An hour and 13 minutes is a good time. I'm going to keep these short so they're easily digestible and fun and interesting to watch. And so we're not burnt out either.
Right.
So there's a lot of shit going on. So, all right, I'm going to play our outro music, which is the intro music. So where the fuck is that, Brand? There we go. And everyone can find you where, Rob?
robsays.net.
There you go. And I'm on masculinegeek.life. And away we go.